Okay, that's better. Okay. All right. Hello, hello. Thank you guys for watching us on the replay. Thank you for tuning in. In this video, you have not seen me for a while. I know I haven't been here on a while. So in this video, I'm gonna share a trip I made. If so, to recently I went to Nigeria, and I think it would definitely benefit you to listen. So if you're, especially if you're Nigerian, you'll definitely obviously relate to this video. But even if you're not in Nigeria or from Nigeria, and like that, it will benefit you to learn more about why I'm talking about it. And yeah, so let me kind of go over. Let me just start. I'm trying to keep this video not super long and just share with you guys. So if this is your first time tuning in, watching me, hi, my name is Chioma, Nurse Chioma, and I am a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for a long time. I've helped nursing graduates to pass their boards, specifically graduates that have been struggling to pass. And we've had people anywhere from being out of school for 13 years and then passing their boards all the way to taking their test 10 times and then passing their exam. And so it's been definitely a very humbling journey. God has allowed me to really touch the lives of so many people. And so, one thing I would say though that I'm not really good at is being open about myself and talking about myself and my life and that type of stuff, because it's something that I don't like really doing. But I know that I it's important so people can really connect with me and I can really help them. Okay, so I was born in Nigeria, right? So if you're taking notes, you want to better understand me and you're doing research on me, this is this video will help you. So I was actually born in Nigeria, and I came to the US when I was 3 years old. So I've lived here in the United States almost all my life, which is why you can't really hear, any type of formal accent in my voice. And so it's been definitely a blessing. Um, been a blessing. I've been to Nigeria, back to Nigeria a couple of times, but the last time I went was about 10 years ago. Okay, it was about 10 years ago. And I will tell you, I have been avoiding going back. I have been avoiding going back for a very long time, like I said, 10 years. And the part of the reason why is the last time I was very young. I was young the last time I went, but the last time I went to Nigeria, I honestly felt like I was traumatized. So because Nigeria, if you're not, if it's on the exterior, it could look intimidating, but it's not though. On the exterior, it could look intimidating, but it's not though. So, but I was very scared. I was nervous about going back. When I went the other time, I went with my whole family, but it wasn't comfortable because here I am, a woman, a young lady that has lived in the US all my life. So certain things I'm used to. So when I went 10 years ago, in Nigeria, you don't have electricity all the time. You need to have, you call a generator. So sometimes at any moment, the power could go off. Not just lights, but everything can go off. And then you don't have running water. Water is not running like the way it is in the US, where you can turn the faucet and water comes out and then it cleans you, washes your face, etc. It's not like that in Nigeria. Well, at that time, instead you have to collect a bucket of water, and usually the water is cold, and wash yourself with a bucket of water. So that, and then at that time when I went, the police was worse. The police was really bad because they would harass you for money, ask for, demand bribe. And I remember so many times when we would drive through the village and everything, there would be police with big, large guns, not like simple. small guns. Not that one is more deadly, but I'm talking about huge rifles, and they would be banging on the car. They would be yelling. They would be saying, "Okay, open up the trunk," even though you didn't do anything. It was very traumatizing at that time. So I was just like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to experience that. So, every year my mom kept on trying to really push me to come to go to Nigeria. You must go. You must go. You must go. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to. It's not comfortable. And plus, I need to focus on my business. I need to be here in the US so I can pay attention to what I need to take care of. I can't just abandon what I'm doing. There's people that need me to respond to them, and so I was very hesitant, very, very hesitant to travel. I was even praying that the trip would be canceled. So then what happened is like around February, so this year, like February, late February this year, I agreed to go. I finally agreed to go. I was like, okay, all right, I'll go. But I was still praying that something would happen where I wouldn't go. So I agreed to go on the trip, and I think probably in a different, maybe like in a private email to my email list, I'll tell you guys in detail what happened in detail because it was a lot. It was a lot of things that I went through that happened in detail. So, so I agreed to go. So I had about 7 months to plan for this trip that I just came back from. Okay, I had 7 months to plan for it. So I, making the plans. I started getting people to help me take care of things while I'm away in the business. And so I was like, so that way I could, go on the trip and focus on other things. So I started packing, preparing. I didn't really know what I'm walking into, so I was going with my mom. And so I was relying on her, as far as what to expect and etc. So I didn't really know what I was walking into. One thing I will tell you right now is that if you are somebody that has a short temper, okay, if you are somebody that you get easily mad, you will have a difficult time in Nigeria. Okay, you will have a difficult time because there's a lot of you have to learn to let go of things easily and a lot because there's a lot of things that will make you very upset. I swear, very, very upset. So anyway, so when we planned the trip, this was an 18-hour trip. 18 hours because we're coming from California. That's where I am. So coming from California, it's 18 hours. So the first is from California to Atlanta we took, and that was about 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours, maybe probably like 5 hours. So we went from California to Atlanta. Then from Atlanta to Nigeria is 11 hours. All right. So together plus the layover plus the waiting in between flights, the whole thing is 18 hours. All right. So it's a very long time that you're sitting, especially if you're not flying in first class. It's a very long time that you're sitting in that position. So when I was going though, one thing that I was surprised by is that there was a lot of people that weren't Nigerian that was going to Nigeria. So, and that's a whole other conversation, but a lot of Europeans, white Americans, Asian people going to Nigeria. It's not the same like it was before. When we got to Nigeria, one thing I am aware of, I know that here in the U.S., y'all complain about the tipping culture, right? That tipping is gone out of hand. Hey, let me tell you, if you really want to, tipping is nothing like it is in Nigeria. Okay? Instead, we call it bribing. That's what it is, really. And so the amount of, you have to be prepared to give money. Hey, okay? And so, but then I was exposed. One thing I realized since the last time I went, the exchange rate between US dollar and Naira is amazing. It's a lot, a lot. If you have, if you just have $1, all right, if you just have $1 US, that's equivalent to 1,570 at that time, 517 naira, which is the money that's in Nigeria. It's the exchange rate is huge. All right, so there's a lot of ways that people are honestly able to capitalize on that. So you can come to Nigeria with just $100 as far as spending money and have a lot of money, a lot to do with, to spend, to shop, whatever, a lot. Okay, so we were able to go. We got there, stayed at the hotel. The hotel in Nigeria, the one that we stayed at, was very nice, very nice. It was a 5-star hotel, and the equivalent to US dollar was $33. $33, but it was actually in naira though. It's about 50,000 naira a night, which is a lot in naira, but in US it's like nothing, especially for a hotel, right? So it was really nice. They had internet, I had access to, I bought an internet pass. So they had TV, movies coming through. They had bellhops. One thing I will say in Nigeria though is that there's way more help. You know, you have to be prepared to pay though, but there's a lot more help. So everything from when you're in the airport, there's a line of men ready to ready to help you with your bags, carry your bags, lift your bags, transport your bags, everything. There's plenty of help. And then also once you get to the hotel, there's a line. There's so many bellhops ready to assist you with anything you need, and very professional as well. So we were there at the hotel. They had food. Of course, the food is not like American food, but they have a different variety of food, Nigerian food for you to eat. That you'll call them and they'll make it to order for you, right? Very, very nice. And we were in Lagos. So I was in Lagos, seeing what Lagos is. And Lagos, this is actually where I was born. All right, so this is the area where I was actually born when I was a baby. So coming back to my roots and just seeing how things are, seeing the lifestyle. I took a lot of pictures and videos. I may post some of them on here, not on YouTube, but probably on Instagram. I'll post some of them to share with you guys. And it was not an easy experience, you know, because I had to renew my passport. That in itself was a headache. So I had to focus on that. That was my priority while I was there. So I didn't really get to do a lot of fun things. But I was able to see where my village is. We flew from Lagos. We flew to the east and visited the east, which is like an hour flight because they have a local airport and the international airport. So we flew to the east, and there I went to that village. Sorry, I went to my village, and then I went to I saw other villages. I know the way that they present to us especially on like news, social media, the internet, they will let you think that, oh, Nigeria is very poor. Oh, Africa is poor. Oh, it's starving kids everywhere, right? That's the way that they're gonna present it to you. Oh, there's a jungle everywhere. There's lions and goats and cats or whatever, and that's how the media will present to you. It's a lie. It's a lie. Oh, hey, it's a lie. Nigeria is very well established. Okay, very well established, very well structured buildings. It really depends on where you stay though, because some places are more nice than others, but it's very well established. Everything from the city, the streets, the buildings, the lights, they have they have the same things here over there like we have here. But when you sleep in the village though, it's not the same as far as the plumbing. You still need a generator. You need in order for lights to come in regularly. So a lot of times the lights won't come in. it was warm there. It was hot, but not as hot as it was for me to me in California. It was less hot in Nigeria, and you really need fans. I just had a very interesting time, to say the least. Very interesting time. There's also the police officers there. They're not as intimidating as it was in the past. If you really want to get by okay, you need to hire a police escort to drive in the car with you, so that way there's no problems whenever you're going anywhere. But when we are going around the town and everything, you know there's police. The amount of fuel, okay, the oil, the gas there, it's very high demand. So we would drive by some of the gas stations that were cheap. It's like the line is like a 2 miles long of people waiting for gas. It's very, yeah. But then if you want to pay more, there's no line. Like there was like people in line for like 2 miles to wait for gas. And so I did some shopping. I went around. I ate some of the food at the restaurants there too. And then I learned a lot. I learned about the corruption as well. That's obvious. I learned about the corruption, but I also learned about the good of Nigeria and what we import, what we export. I practice my Igbo language, okay, because I'm Igbo, so I practice that as well. My goal is to be very fluent. There was a time when I was younger, I used to know very well, but you know, living in the U.S., you forget a lot. So yeah, so it was very good. Like it was stressful to be honest, but it ended on a good note. And I did enjoy myself at the end of the day. You know, I took away a lot. I also realized from this experience, it made me see, especially for those of you that I help here on this page, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. One thing I'm now, when going through this trip, it made me really connect with my roots and realize how I can better serve you, how I can better serve and help many of you that are currently in Nigeria right now or other parts of Africa. Because I realized, okay, I need to set it up where you guys can um, things that set up in African payments, so African payment processor. So I learned about that and how to do that process. So that way, people in Nigeria, you guys can be able to get things in Naira, right? So I was exposed to that. So that's something I'm going to be working on, within the next couple of months. So that way, people in Nigeria can be able to get our courses, classes, or books in Naira. And then also, I realized too, one of the exams that, because this whole time my main focus has been NCLEX, NCLEX, NCLEX. But one of the exams that people really need help with is the IELTS test. All right, let me put it on here. IELTS. That's the one. IELTS. So now I'm going to work on putting together programs, resources for to pass that test, because I know the same God that's given me the grace to help people that struggle to pass the NCLEX is the same God that's going to give me the grace to help people that's struggling to pass the IELTS test. So that's my two main focuses now after going through this trip, and how I can really better serve people and make an impact. And after this trip was over, I cried. I really cried because um, I realized I had been running from me. I've been running from who I am. I've been running from everything, like just pretty much running from like my culture, and because it's not easy. The IELTS, it's another test that international students, they have to pass. They have to take that test before they can NCLEX. And it's essentially a test that tests their ability, because it's for international people. It tests their ability to understand basic English, writing, Spanish, I'm sorry, speaking skills. So they have to first that test before they can be eligible to take the NCLEX. So that's the test. That's the new exam I'm gonna start implementing, so that way people can pass that test. So hopefully that makes sense. So yeah. So it's I just yeah. So I just realized like there's so much there's more that I need to do than what I've been doing to really make a global impact. And not limit what I'm doing, or limit myself, or limit how I help people. So I'm excited. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful to God. Like I said, I was praying that I would not go on this trip. I was even asking God. I was like, what? So, Lord, is there a way I cannot come? Like, thank you so much. I was like saying, okay, God, like, okay, maybe it's okay if I lose the money. That's what I was like saying about the ticket. That's for all of Africa. Yes, exactly. Not just for Nigeria, definitely. It's for all of Africa. It's for different countries too. It's for Pakistan. It's for Philippines. Different countries, they need to pass that test, but mainly Africa. So yeah, but I was honestly trying very hard not to go on this trip. I swear to God, I'm telling you. Even up until the day before we're supposed to leave, I was praying that the flight would be canceled. Even when when the crowd strike crash occurred that caused so many flights to be canceled, etc. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, my flight will be canceled. It's okay. I won't go to Nigeria after all. I was actually like praying that that would happen, but it didn't happen. I was like, okay, God, Lord. So we're really going to Nigeria. Okay. All right. And so now I realize it was one of the best things for me. And so I know though that God has a very big plan for me. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. But God has a very big plan, and I know He wants to use me in a very big way. Even something small as being able to provide clean, clean drinking water for people in Nigeria. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. Even being able to provide clean drinking water, even being able to provide schools where people can go to school and there's no issue. It's easy. They have books. They have what they need. Hospitals as well. The growth rate in Nigeria is really fast because people have a lot of kids. The last time I went to Nigeria, the population was, you'll be there later this year? Okay, good. The last time I went to Nigeria, the population size was 140 million people. The last time. This time, as of 2022, they're saying it's now 218 million people. It's growing so fast, and so I realized too, even if I made a hospital, if I set up a hospital as well, whatever it is, I don't know, but I know that there's something for me to do. Yes, exactly. God want me to go so I can be a helping hand for the needy. Yeah, that's it. So now I know the sky is the limits, and I am very grateful to God. So I just wanted to come on here and share this experience with you guys. I know that for me, it took a lot for me to get to this point and share this trip with y'all, because I'm only sharing half of what happened, because I had a very stressful time too, though. So I'm not going to go into everything that happened. Oh, I love you guys too. Thank you. So I'm not going to share everything that happened because it was extremely stressful. So probably I may send an email, telling people in detail what I really went through, because I was afraid that I was going to have problems coming back. So I'm grateful that I'm here to be able to tell you guys what I experienced. So that was it. That was it. If you watch this on the replay, please don't hesitate to comment below and say hi. Tell me what you thought about what I said. Any comments, anything you want to share. I want to hear it. I want to know, or your own experiences, or if you went to Nigeria, Tell me. I want to know. Or even if you're not Nigerian, and you relate to this because you're from another area, whatever it is, I want to hear from you. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching, for listening. I pray that what I said blessed you. If you have any questions, you can comment below or send me a message, okay? All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of the day, night, wherever you're tuning in from. I'll talk with you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye. Take care, you guys.